Guys, and welcome back to AdosTheGreat YouTube channel. So guys, in today's video we will be doing our NRLW round 5 tips. I'm going alright this year. Like the week before last, pretty bad week. I only got 1 that week, as you know, and last week I went 4 from 5, so we had a good bounce back last week, but we need that momentum to continue, and I believe I can do that this week. I'm going to pick a few little controversial takes in this one. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into it, guys. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you enjoy this content. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump in. First, actually, you know what? Let's just have a gander at how I actually did last week. So I think this is actually a pretty good week, realistically. Like, the only game I got wrong was the Titans against the Cowboys. It was only a 1-point loss in that one too. And then, you know, I tipped the Eels to win by 1 point. Jesus, that was pretty good bet there. So not bad. But yeah, as I said, we move into round 5. So let's get into it. First game, Parramatta Eels against the Newcastle Knights. Stats. Look, I'm really not going to work too much on stats. I think the Knights have been pretty disappointing this year. You know, there's been games where they've looked really good. There's also been games where they've looked really poor. I think the Eels, they've really put their foot down this year and shown that they're a different team. And the Knights, they're still, they're still champions from last year, so you can't rule them out. And 70% of people are backing them in here. But I do think we see the Eels get up in this one. I'm backing them 1-12 over the Knights there on Saturday morning. All right, into the second of the Saturday games, we've got the Raiders against the Cowboys. Cowboys coming off a good win against the Titans last week. I think the Raiders just went down to the Broncos, which I thought they played quite well in that one. I am backing the Raiders to win this one. I think they'll get the job done by 8 points. My margins this year have been really good, so I'm hoping that continues. All right, next up, we've got the Titans against the Roosters. Now, as you saw, the first game, 30% of people tipped the Eels, and I've agreed with that 30%. I'm the same with this one. Look, man, the Roosters have been incredible this year. They're arguably, while the Sharks are undefeated, I still think the Roosters are the informed team in the comp so far, with their only loss, I believe, coming to the Knights in round 1. Let me just double check that. I don't want to look like an idiot, but I believe that was their only loss. It was very close, 2-point loss there in round 1. So round 5, here we go. Look, I still think the Titans win this game. They've played 2 pretty disappointing games after starting the year 2-0. So it was a good start to the season for the Titans. They've fallen off a little bit. I do think they bounced back with a very tight win over the Roosters there, another 1-12 game. All right, next up, we've got the Tigers against the Broncos. Broncos playing pretty good at the moment. They started off the season 0-2. They've bounced back with a couple of really strong wins over the last 2 weeks. Tigers are yet to get a win this season. I think that trend continues. Broncos should win this one. I'm backing them in 13 plus in that one. Then to wrap up the weekend, we've got the Dragons and the Sharks. Dragons have been pretty disappointing this year. Sharkies have been pretty good, and don't get me wrong, I do think the Dragons can fight for their second win of the season, but I don't see it happening. I'm going to agree with a 58% here. I'm backing in the Sharks. So there's my tips, guys. Eels 1-12, Raiders 1-12, Titans 1-12, Broncos 13 plus, and Sharkies 1-12. Let me know your tips down below in the comments, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And as always, my friends, I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.